hit the bell icon for any future upload. And also, relax and enjoy the experience.
What is up, guys? Seth here, back with another video, and today I am finally back after a long time, first thing. And second, I've actually updated to Windows 10 Fall Creators Update. Today is my first take into software reviews, so bear with me if I actually forgot a few things. I actually tried to cover up as much as I could. So this is my review of Windows 10 Fall Creators Update. Now let me just give you a short overview to say that it is absolutely amazing. It is fast and it's actually really good in its performance, and I personally like Windows 10 Fall Creators Update, and it's actually built for those creators. Unfortunately, there are a few things that are still going to come with upcoming updates to the Fall Creators Edition, and possibly next year we might see a newer version of Windows, maybe Windows 11 or maybe Windows Winter Creators Update. But anyway, let's jump into the review.
Welcome guys to my computer. This is the Dell Inspiron 5567, yet a review to come. This one is running Windows 10 Home Edition on the Fall Creators Update. If you want proof on that, pretty simple. Go on the Start menu, hit the Settings icon, and go into the System. And at last, go into the About Device. Go down, and in Windows Specification, you would see Edition. Windows 10 Home and version 1709. So if your computer is running Windows 10 whatever edition it may be, Pro or Home, but if your version is 1709, that means you're running Windows 10 Fall Creators Update. It's actually a really great update, and it's actually better in many ways. I love this update and I suggest everyone to update to it. Now there are a few things that are missing, but let's find that out as we're going through. Alright, so first, let's start by talking about the visual changes. So first off, if you go into the settings application, you would see that we have a few extra tabs, except one. Now that one tab would only be available for devices that support mixed reality. Unfortunately, my laptop does not, so that tab isn't here. But other than that, we actually have something around 11 tabs previously, and 2 new tabs have been included with the Fall Creators Update. But now with the Fall Creators Update, we get Cortana, which has its separate tab now. The link to phone is another feature that Microsoft has implemented with Windows 10 Fall Creators Update. Now that's actually a new tab. It wasn't present with the original Creators Update, so it's something new. Going into it, there's this additional column. There's this place where it asks you to manage your phones. So in order to add a phone, it's nothing, just click on it, and all you get is this pop-up where all you need to do is add your phone number. And what it does is Microsoft sends you a link through a virtual number to your smartphone, and click that link. You'll be redirected either to the Play Store or the App Store for whichever device you're in, and yes, it's available for iOS as well. So you would receive a link, go into it, install the application that tells you to install. So after you link your phone and your computer, nothing actually goes in between. I mean, all the apps that I have in the Windows Store, through the Windows Store, are all linked with my account. So there's nothing big to sync other than the notifications that come from your smartphone to the PC. So that's the only option that your phone brings up. Another aesthetical difference which the Windows 10 Fall Creators Update brings is in the battery pop-up. So in the battery pop-up, you usually open it up and what it would show you was the battery info and to whether to on or off battery saver mode and the brightness control. Now it's actually a lot more different. So you have this bar which you can change in order to go to performance mode or battery saver mode. Underneath that, we also have the battery settings as well as the brightness manager. So now one more change that has been brought with the Windows 10 Fall Creators Update is People integration. Now People is an application that has been built into Windows 10 Creators Update and even previously. What it does is it syncs with your Skype account to bring all your contacts, and you could call them, you can message them, and that was just available. But now People has come here, so you can have your parents' profile pictures here. You can actually click on them to call them. I personally don't use Skype, so nothing pops up that's too interesting. So another aesthetical change which you can see here is in the notification center. So the entire background is actually this nice green translucent color, but the notifications themselves actually look a lot different. They are much opaque than the actual background. But anyway, those are the aesthetical and visual UI changes that are observable. There are many hidden features that are yet to be unlocked. Unfortunately, I didn't dive in too deep here, but it actually looks pretty well. Second, I would like to talk about the Fluent design system. Now, this is a new design system introduced by Microsoft. They introduced the Fluent design system, which was said to redesign the whole Windows user interface. Starting off with the 5 major points of Fluent design system: light, depth, motion, material, and scale. So beginning with light, again, we open the calculator application, open that up, and as you can see, the translucent background of the application actually shows you the light part of the user interface. So as you can see here, there's actually a difference between the darker portion of the wallpaper and the brighter Windows logo portion of the wallpaper. Now, for example, say I want to open another application, maybe Microsoft Edge. As you can see here, over here you have a lighter portion, and over here you can see partial parts of the background of the calculator application. That the Windows logo's brighter part is visible to the right, and moving in you could see a part of the background of the calculator app. So this is the light feature. So once again, opening calculator, the light integration also brings this new feature into Windows 10 Fall Creator Update. So if I move the mouse around, the mouse starts acting up like a lantern. So if you could see the edges of the tabs or the keys, you could see that they light up, and follow the mouse itself, you would see that the borders of them light up. And if you click a key, you'd see a sonic boom. It's not only visible here, but also in the settings application. So moving in here, you could see that the mouse starts acting up like a lantern. You can see the edge of the system tab being lit up. You can see it going through there, and if you want to create a crosshair, it looks like this. Now moving on to the next part of Fluent design system, which is unfortunately not yet fully integrated into Windows 10 Fall Creators Update, is depth. So depth was actually supposed to be fully integrated into something that they were actually supposed to introduce with the Fall Creators Update, but unfortunately did not arrive. They will come soon in the next version of Windows or in a next upcoming update. Moving on to motion, which is an integral part of this. So as you can see here, as I'm moving the mouse scroll up and down, you can see that there is nice and smooth movement. So it actually bounces very well up and down, bouncy, and that's basically what motion's all about. It gives you smooth usage of the scroll wheel and other parts of the OS. Now another part of Windows 10 Fall Creators Update's Fluent design system is material design. So as you can see here, it looks really simple and really clean. So it actually is kind of okay. So material design is there, and it looks aesthetically pleasing. Of course, it will be fully integrated into Windows 11 or a future version of Windows. Maybe a newer security update would bring in some new aesthetical changes. Moving on about scale. So let me open 2 applications just to show you what scale actually means. So I could actually pull this out and it scales to a different size. I could open another application and this opens in its own window. So all I can do is hit the Windows key and hit the right key, just snap it into the right, or hit this and it snaps into its place. So that's all about scale. Now, the third one that I'm going to talk about is an application that's built into Windows 10 Fall Creators Update that has a massive redesign and massive utility features, which are going to be super useful for beginning creators and beginning YouTubers. I'm talking about Story Remix, or as many would know, the Photos app. So jump into the Photos application, which has seen a massive redesign. It actually looks aesthetically pleasing now. There we go, we're in, and as you can see here, I could scroll through every photo that I took, whether it's on September, it's all date. So also, this is not the only thing. You can actually create movies or like short video clips. You can actually edit videos off of this. So when I hit the create toggle, you could see that there is an option called video remix, video projects, albums, video project, edit a new video from start to finish. So YouTubers, beginning YouTubers especially, use this. It's actually really great. You have basic things like cut and edit. You can even add effects and transitions, which are really nice. And video remix is, once again, something that the application actually does for you. So you can collect a bunch of photos that you want to make into like a slideshow presentation or movie. You can collect those and the application will create a short movie by itself using AI, transitions, effects, visual effects, and so on and so forth. But here's a video that I made using this application as well as the built-in Photos application. There is this new feature called anchoring and I really love it. And here's how I implement those. We're back. So this is how I implemented the effects and animations, everything into that video. I used Microsoft Story Remix as well as the Microsoft Photos application. Those were awesome to use. I mean, they were so basic when I compared it to my high-end professional Adobe Premiere Pro here, but it was best for beginners. I mean, I'm kind of growing with Adobe Premiere Pro now. I'm starting to learn some new things, but this application has a lot to learn too as well. So you get awesome visual effects and transitions, as well as track text effects, which is famous with Adobe After Effects users, especially users in the Adobe suite. So that's there. So that was just the third awesome feature of Windows 10 Fall Creators Update. We still yet have to talk about OneDrive files on demand. Now personally, I do not use OneDrive as much as I do use Dropbox or Google Drive. So just for this video, I actually added a few file into it. So in here, jump into backups. I don't know why it's not working.
5 minutes later.
So yeah, I went into a tiny technical issue here with OneDrive. It went offline, but now it's back. So the one thing that is confusing with OneDrive files on demand are these variety of icons that are here on the status column. So I have a few applications, most of them of which are all application installing packages. So you have a cloud icon, you have a green circle with a green check, you have a green dot with a white check. So each of these has its own meaning. So the blue clouds actually mean that they are not available on this device, but they are available in the cloud and only can be accessed if this device is connected to the internet and is online. So if you're offline, I cannot access Radeon's Crimson Relive 17.10.1 installation package, and I cannot install Extract Steam Client because it's only in the cloud. So cloud actually has its own meaning, online only files. Another thing, this green circle with a green check actually means locally available files. So technically what that means is on Google Drive you have this feature where you can download a file or save it to a device, and sometimes you might get confused. What does that mean? Well, you could save, what I've done is actually downloaded some of these installation packages and are saved only here. So actually what it means is I can move them around here, but I cannot move them to different file locations. They should only be here. I cannot save them to the device. But on the other hand, these green dots with a white check actually mean always available files. So what these actually mean are, you actually save this to the device, so you can move it around. I could paste it, I could copy these and paste it onto my desktop, whereas I cannot do that to these other applications. And as you can see, it's once again syncing. It's still on my device. That's kind of cool. You can access this kind and this kind online or offline, but you can only access the cloud kind when you're online. So these are the ones that are saved on your device and use up disk storage. These don't use disk storage but are saved on device. These do not use disk storage at all and are only available if you are online. So there are a few varieties here. Moving on to the fifth and final feature here, we're talking about Windows Mixed Reality. This computer, the Dell Inspiron 5567, is not compatible with Windows Mixed Reality. The way you could find out is go into settings. If you have the separate panel for Windows Mixed Reality, your computer is compatible. If not, there wouldn't be anything such that as in my computer. But there is this built-in application called Windows Mixed Reality Portal, as you can see here. But all it does is when I go in and asks me to get started, and then it would say your computer is incompatible. As you can see, it scans if it's compatible or not. And finally, I found out that my graphics driver and graphics card are the only problem for the reason for my computer to be incompatible. But I think it's an awesome feature to have in your computer, especially if your computer can support it. It's gonna be really rad. There are some awesome mixed reality devices out there that you could check out. Now, those are the top 5 features that I found were amazing with Windows 10 Fall Creators Update, but there are some other software improvements. Now, since this is a non-touch and non-pen sensitive device, there have actually been some pen and touch improvements, but unfortunately I am unable to use them to the fullest potential because of this display not being touch sensitive. There are other improvements in software such as adding emojis to applications and other useful shortcuts which I'm still discovering. There have been Cortana improvements as you've seen, and there have been improvements in sound quality in the sound department with audio driver software doohickey. Those are software improvements. Now there are still stuff yet to come with the Fall Creators Update and further updates, as well as the newer version of Windows that might be coming out next year, maybe Windows 11 or maybe Windows 10 Winter Creators Update or something like that. They always come out with some crazy name like Fall Creators Update. So Fluent Design System is yet to be fully integrated into Windows. As you saw, there was some parts of the Fluent Design System here, but it's still not fully integrated. There's also the Windows timeline that is yet to come to the full version of Windows 10 Fall Creators Update. This is the full version, but future updates would bring the Windows timeline system.
So anyway guys, that wraps it up for my part of the review. I know there were some minor faults with the video, but I try to mask everything as much as possible. I try to cover up everything as much as possible as far as Windows Fall Creators Update goes. On an overall, it's really fast and it actually increases the performance of your laptop by a significant amount. Boot times are faster and startup times of apps are also faster. But anyway, that wraps up for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Leave a thumbs up, subscribe, follow me on all social media links linked down in the description below. Support me on Patreon and I'll see you guys later.